and follow us on Twitter.
Listen, having written a few books, I know that there's cost of editing, there's cost of photography. There are all different kinds of costs that have to be covered before you start to make a profit. That was your agreement. It's a very simple thing. There was no profit. Correct?
Correct.
We're done. Thank you.
Ma'am, may I please address? I would really request a release so that I may further do the cookbook.
No way. This is all about cash. That's what I have to determine. You want to decide on intellectual property? Go someplace else. You had a contract. You were supposed to make half the profits after she
that was not our agreement.
Well, I think that it was your agreement.
That means my work is not worth anything.
Your work is worth nothing if the work doesn't produce anything. Listen, I work in an industry where you can produce things that are fantasies in your mind. You try to put them down and put them on tape. You work for hours. Nobody buys the product. 99% of what we make, nobody buys. I don't want a game show. I don't want a talk show. I don't want another court show. I don't want another Survivor show. And you've done all the work and you can't sell it. That doesn't mean you get any profit. We don't get paid for the hours. Do you understand? You take a chance. You went into business, you took a chance. You didn't make any money. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I'm glad to have it all just put to bed.
Know the person's integrity that you're working with, because I think character has more to do with anything else in contracts.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for News 40 at 5. I'm Morgan Hoover.
And I'm Chris Allen. Thanks for tuning in on this Monday evening. Maybe, Morgan, the last warm, humid day.
Ooh, I am so happy to hear that. I can bear this Monday knowing it might be the last.
Yeah, and on a Monday, of all things, just, you know, to have some good news here. Let's check things out. Radar is all quiet. I just give you a look at it just so you can see for yourself that there's nothing out there, even though we are seeing a lot of cloud cover. Temperatures right now, 86 in Bowling Green, low to mid 80s elsewhere. And I'm telling you, some really fall-like air is coming in starting tomorrow. High pressure takes over and cooler temperatures will follow. I'll talk about a chance of showers and your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Morgan?
All right, Chris. Tonight, Kentuckians remembering those lost 22 years ago today, September 11th, 2001. Governor Andy Beshear joining state officials and first responders in Ashland today during a memorial ceremony honoring the first responders that lost their lives that day. Beshear also taking a moment to remember the families impacted. He says Americans across the country are still mourning this loss even over 20 years later.
This day left many families forever changed, and it left us as a people and as a country forever changed. It was a turning point in our history.
Governor Beshear has directed flags at all state office buildings to be lowered to half-staff today in commemoration of Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. Survivors and families of victims are gathering across the country today to honor loved ones as the nation's dignitaries offer words of comfort. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington.
Today, as the nation pauses to remember
Jeremy Joseph Ahern.
Names of the lives forever stopped on September 11th, 22 years ago, filled the silence.
We love you. We miss you. We can't replace you.
From the World Trade Center in New York to the Pentagon and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, loved ones sharing deeply personal memories.
You are forever our hero and angel.
From a vast web of loss that stretches across America.
You may have been torn from us that day, but your love and memories will never be torn from our hearts.
President Biden returning to the U.S. from Vietnam, stopping at a military base in Alaska, paying tribute to the many soldiers who joined in response to the terror attacks that claimed nearly 3,000 lives and reshaped American foreign policy. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin speaking from the Pentagon.
We will always work to keep America safe, and we will always remember.
In a painstaking process, the remains of 2 more 9/11 victims have now been identified, but more than 1,000 families still wait, speaking the names of those they lost.
Love you, Phil. Talk to you later.
To ensure they never fade away. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And we turn now to our local fire departments who are honoring this tragic day in their own way. The Bowling Green Fire Department participated in the 13th annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb in Nashville over the weekend. 343 firefighters from around the nation climbed 110 stories in remembrance of the New York firefighters that died at the Twin Towers. Those involved performed the climb in their full gear, as you can see in the pictures on your screen, in honor of those lost. 22 years later, people are still dealing with the effects of 9/11. There are many resources that provide services to anyone dealing with anxiety around this anniversary, especially veterans. The Veterans Club offers many different services to those who served our country, from horseback riding to simply building a community. There is something for everyone, including families. Veterans Club believes building these communities leaves a positive impact on those who served.
We just want them to know that they don't have to go through this alone. We know it's a very, very tough day. It's a tough day for me. I'm a combat veteran deployed to Iraq, and 9/11 was the reason why I wanted to start this organization, because I wanted to make sure that we were there for those who had to, mitigate that situation.
If you'd like to learn more about what the Veterans Club offers, you can visit their website. That's veteransclubinc.org. Continuing our coverage tonight of the Edmonton County woman missing for 8 months. Authorities are still searching for the mom of 3. Kentucky State Police say 35-year-old Kayla Decker was last seen in the Bee Spring community on December 18th, 2022. KSP says they did not receive a call about the missing woman until June of this year. Friends of Decker are working to raise awareness about her disappearance through Facebook, hoping to get answers for her 3 sons.
I mean, it's such a small community, and for her to be gone this long, like those kids have had Christmas, birthdays, first day of school. You can't tell me a mom would miss all that. Maybe 1 or 2 things, but for her to be gone this long and nobody really bringing attention to it is just devastating.
So far, Kentucky State Police has released little information about Decker's disappearance. If you have any information, you are asked to call KSP. That number is on your screen. It is 270-782-2010. Happening around the Commonwealth, no changes to the state's income tax rate in 2025, despite the push from lawmakers. This after the state failed to meet a condition for a tax cut, requiring that state revenues at the end of the fiscal year are the same or higher than appropriations. The state budget director says there's a gap of about $435 million. Republicans point to emergency expenses like recovery from flooding in eastern Kentucky. Lawmakers expect to see a reduction in 2026, taking the income tax rate down to 3.5% then. With sports betting in full swing across the Commonwealth, many are excited to not have to travel across state lines to bet on their favorite teams, which was very apparent at Churchill Downs this weekend.
Here at Churchill Downs, as you can see, horse bettors are usually the ones that fill in these halls, but now that sports betting is legalized, sports fans of all kinds are joining the scene. This picture you see on the screen is the line to make sports bets at Churchill Downs at 11:30 Sunday morning. The turnout showcasing the excitement fans have for the new legalized Kentucky industry.
I've been here all morning, getting it in. So, yeah, I'm happy that we got the sports betting, and I hope they keep it.
One of Churchill Downs Mutual managers said they saw more than 3,500 sports bettors for opening weekend, including people like Jordan Duff, who says he made his first ever sports bet just weeks before things kicked off in the Commonwealth. The convenience making the change a no-brainer for him.
It's cool. It's just right down the street. Might as well at least try. Like I said, it's my first year doing it, so I've had some hits, I had some misses. That's part of the game. So, but other than that, I really enjoy it.
The chance to cash a winning ticket while betting on sports like football has even enticed some of the most avid horse bettors as well.
At Churchill Downs, I've been coming there all the time. Like most of the time, just been like I've been here betting on horses. Now the sports is here, like it's different. Cause I went across over in Indiana, like it's cool, but like now that it's here, it's like it's way better though.
Governor Beshear says he expects sports betting to generate more than $23 million a year, and now that people don't have to cross the bridge to make their bets, it would all stay in the Commonwealth. And for avid bettors, it's a fun way to make a quick buck.
Come on now, win some of this easy money, because it's easy and it's pretty fun. So come on out, have fun, enjoy the sports betting. Why is it here in Kentucky? Because it's her and ain't going nowhere. We ain't got around fire, y'all, so it's her now.
More local news now. For the second year, the Jim Johnson Golf Classic is hoping to change so many lives, raising $40,000 more than last year's charity golf event. For Masonic Homes Kentucky, organizers say they are thrilled that this event could help provide housing, medical necessities like glasses and wheelchairs, meals, and so much more for seniors across Kentucky.
Masonic Homes is passionate people, inspiring lives. And that's what we do every day. For us to be able to continue on a legacy of caring for people who don't have the means to pay for it themselves.
This won't be the last time you see Masonic Homes. Learn more about the organization and how it's impacting our community. You can look for this story later tonight on WNKY.com. Still to come on News 40 at 5, with natural disasters reaching a record high this year. It has left organizations like the Red Cross in short supply. We'll have the latest details when we come back. But first, Weather Chief Chris Allen is back with a full look at our forecast. That's coming up right after this break.
WNKY News 40. Broadcasting live from the German American Bank studio in downtown Bowling Green.
Opening my very own business has always been a dream of mine. When everything was shut down, that was taken away from me.
Governor Beshear definitely ran Kentucky more like California and New York.
Our lockdown order was still going on while other states were open. But because of Governor Beshear, Kentucky was at a standstill. He did not help us.
I wasn't able to open my barbershop because of Governor Beshear and his mandates. Governor Beshear is not on my side. He's not on the working man's side.
He can't be trusted to govern Kentucky.
Just rockin' and rollin', baby.
Come back tomorrow.
We got you all fixed up. Got it all fixed up for you, man. Let there be light, ma'am.
Looks like she finally called JB.
I'm attorney Deborah Brose. I am committed to my clients across South Central Kentucky. But don't just take it from me. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I can help. Call our office today for a free consultation.
WNKY News 40 is always on. Visit WNKY.com for your latest in local news, sports, and weather.
Whoa! Big news! DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to Kentucky. You'll be so dialed into every play that you forget to eat your wings. You made my wings cold, DraftKings. Flailing your arms like you can disrupt the free throw. Miss, fool! And a home run will have you crying like it's the birth of your child. I'm so happy.
DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to Kentucky. New customers, download the app now to get $200 in bonus bets when we go live. Because life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Yeah.
Welcome to the country.
Time now for a full look at our forecast with Weather Chief Chris Allen. Chris, today was pretty pleasant, but I still am just counting down the days until we have that fall-like, cooler weather.
Well, you only have to count to 1.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Easy peasy.
I can count to 1.
I hope so. Because starting tomorrow is when we're going to start to feel all that really nice fall-like weather. As the temperatures come down, we get a little rain, the dew points come down. And right now, it's not bad. I mean, it's 86, but the dew point is at 61, so it doesn't feel all that humid. Even though we have a few clouds around, it is not bad at all. This is really typical of early to mid-September and late summer here in southern Kentucky, but even better is better weather coming our way. We're going to go with 87. That's probably where we're going to land as the official high temperature at the Bowling Green Airport today. 2 degrees warmer than the average of 85. That's what I'm talking about. Not too far off the mark. 61 was our low, just 1 degree shy of the average. Get ready for 10 degrees cooler than that on both of these highs and lows starting tomorrow, and for the rest of the week, it's all going to look and feel wonderful. Look at this muggy tracker. I mean, all summer long, it's been muggy, humid, even at times oppressive when those dew points got into the 70s. But look what happens starting tomorrow. We get low 60s, and then we take a dive midweek into the weekend. Low 50-degree dew points in the green. That means it's nice, very nice. And you can already see even some sugar maples and things like that that are starting to turn just a little bit of color. I think we're going to see pretty good color because of all the rain that we've received this year. We'll just have to wait and see until we get into more into October. But here we go. The future forecast showing at 8 o'clock tonight. We've got the cold front just to the west of us. I don't think we're going to see much of anything tonight as far as shower activity. Most of the shower activity is back behind the front. But here we go to about 6:30 tomorrow morning. We do begin to see some showers lining up ahead of the front and behind the front. But here's the thing, all of this is going to push into the high pressure and some of it will fade away. But I do think we'll get a few showers out of this, maybe even a rumble of thunder. There's about 11:30. Here's 4:30 tomorrow afternoon, a few showers laying around. And then by early Wednesday morning, all of that is gone. We get that flow in from the northwest, and everything is just going to feel wonderful. What about Lee? We talked about it last week. Well, the good news is Lee's still a major hurricane, but taking a turn to the North Atlantic and away from the United States, and that's great news. 65, increasing clouds tonight. Some patchy fog is possible, and then your 7-day forecast is going to show, oh boy, look at this. Mid-70s, maybe even low 70s on a couple of days, and look at those lows in the 50s. No rain except for tomorrow, and then we're dry for the rest of the next 7 days. Here's what's coming up tonight on NBC 40.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
At Horizon Pace, I have one doctor, not 4 or 5. And if I need to talk to that doctor and he's not with another patient, he'll come and talk to me. Everything's going real good. I come off of about 19 pills down to 7 now, and I love it. I wouldn't do without it right now.
Horizon Pace is the face of your healthcare. Contact us for more information.
Morris Jewelry is this area's independent and trusted source for diamonds. We're an experienced direct diamond importer, and custom design is our specialty. With diamond engagement rings starting at $33 per month, our prices can't be beat.
The Contractors Licensing Board wants you to know if you're planning on building or remodeling, always hire a licensed contractor. Get all estimates, obtain a building permit, include a payment schedule and a completion date in your contract, and never release final payment until the project is completed. By hiring a licensed contractor, you're ensuring the contractor has proper liability insurance, protecting you in the event of any property damage. For more info or to find a licensed contractor in your area, call the Contractors Licensing Board today.
At Infinity Pipeline, your family is our family. Our employees are the foundation of what we do. And what matters to you matters to us. We're now hiring the next generation of skilled workers to help grow our community. Apply now. InfinityPipeInc.com.
At Spring Hill Pharmacy, we are here to help people with their prescriptions, including delivering their medications to their door for free. We are excited to provide Smart Pack packaging at little to no cost. We have made a significant investment in this technology to package prescriptions. If we can keep people at home longer, help them with their medications and proper use, we feel like we have accomplished our goal as a pharmacy. Spring Hill Pharmacy, where helping people is what we do. Visit us on Russellville Road in Bowling Green.
A warning from the American Red Cross, the organization that provides about 40% of the nation's blood and blood components to patients in need, says their supply has hit what it calls critically low levels. What led to this shortage and how can you help? For months, back-to-back, climate-driven disasters have further strained the U.S. blood supply, forcing the American Red Cross to sound the alarm, saying their supplies are critically low.
It has become challenging for us to meet the demand of our hospitals.
With a busy summer travel season and back-to-school activities, the organization was already seeing low donor turnout. That, paired with blood drive cancellations because of extreme weather, has led the national blood supply dropping by nearly 25% since early August, despite a constant demand.
Blood cannot be manufactured, it can't be stockpiled, and really it's the blood on the shelves on a daily basis that is needed to save lives.
From emergencies to cancer patients and women in delivery, blood is used to help patients every day. The Red Cross says all blood types are urgently needed, but there's an emergency need for platelet donors and type O blood donors.
About 40% of this country's population is eligible to donate, and only about 4% do.
When Hurricane Idalia slammed into the southeast, the Red Cross says it was unable to collect more than 700 units of blood and platelets. And the storm season isn't over. Hurricane Lee is now being closely monitored.
The need is constant, and it's the patients that are at the other end of this life-saving product.
Still to come on News 40 at 5, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates 11 times this year, but economists predict these hikes will begin to slow in the future. More on this when we come back.
Andy Bashir is lying about sex change surgery for kids.
Those procedures don't happen here in Kentucky.
That's not true. Bashir knows it, and medical records prove it.
LGBTQ advocates and the governor said these surgeries weren't happening. A newly discovered letter from UK Healthcare conflicts with that claim.
If Andy Bashir will lie about sex change surgery for kids,
those procedures don't happen here in Kentucky.
What else is he lying about?
Home is more than a house. Wherever you are in your journey of homeownership, German American Bank is here to support you. Our team of dedicated mortgage loan professionals can help you with lending solutions featuring low or no down payment, assistance for closing costs and improvement projects, or even loans specifically for first-time home buyers. We're here to tell you, homeownership is achievable. German American Bank, member FDIC.
You see the worst of the worst in this job, but I do it to bring justice for victims and help them move on with their lives. When a woman or girl becomes pregnant from rape, the trauma is unimaginable. Daniel Cameron thinks a 9-year-old rape survivor should be forced to give birth. Nobody, no child, should ever have to go through that. Cameron believes rapists deserve more rights than their victims. That's extreme, and it's dangerous.
Connect with WNKY News 40 on social media. Follow us at WNKY TV.
It's Toyota Truck and SUV month, and with more to choose from than anyone else.
Your new Toyota will have you ready for anything.
Ready for a family adventure. Ready for a night out.
Your Toyota, your choice.
Now, during Toyota's Truck and SUV month, get 3.99 APR financing on the new aggressively sophisticated Toyota Highlander.
Or 4.99 APR financing on this electrified Highlander hybrid. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Toyota Truck and SUV month. The choice is yours.
Toyota, let's go places.
Your budget may be getting some breathing room, although it's too soon to declare a victory over inflation. Many analysts believe things are heading in the right direction and that the Federal Reserve may hold interest rates steady next month.
The average U.S. family spent about $700 more in July compared to 2 years ago to buy the same goods and services, according to Moody's Analytics.
Look at how much parents are paying for materials for children, back to school materials. Prices have gone up. Maybe the rate of increase may slow, but the level has gone up significantly.
The main cause for consumers forking out more money is still high inflation. In an attempt to curb these rising prices, the Federal Reserve boosted U.S. interest rates 11 times since March 2022.
It's no fun. No one likes it, but if you're going to get inflation back in the bottle, this is part of the process. Good news is inflation is getting back in the bottle.
The CME FedWatch tool says the financial markets believe there's nearly a 90% chance the central bank will hold rates steady in September.
We have a kind of a Goldilocks economic situation where economic growth is slowing without going into a recession.
Another reason for economic optimism, wages are starting to outpace inflation.
Things feel like they're moving in the right direction. Hopefully, 6-12 months down the road, the Fed can start taking its foot off the brakes and lowering those interest rates, and the banking system will, feel a lot better as a result.
Though inflation may be cooling, the same cannot be said for the climate, as the U.S. has already seen more billion-dollar weather and climate disasters this year than ever before. The U.S. has been hit with 23 disasters just this year, each costing at least $1 billion. The previous annual record was 22 events in 2020. Data shows this year's disasters have caused nearly $58 billion in damage, with 4 months still left to go. NOAA is still analyzing data from Hurricane Idalia. And it's not just the U.S. dealing with natural disasters. More than 2,400 people have been killed after the devastating earthquake in Morocco. Rescue crews just beginning to reach remote areas of the country as the death toll continues to rise. Rolf Sanchez has the very latest.
This morning, the desperate search for survivors entering a critical phase. Rescue teams from Morocco and around the world racing to make every minute count. It's now been more than 48 hours since this 6.8 magnitude quake struck south of Marrakesh. The most powerful tremor in this region for more than 100 years, sending locals and tourists alike running for their lives in the streets of the historic city. This wedding singer cut off mid-song.
I was petrified. Some people were just crying and screaming.
But the worst of the devastation in remote villages in the high Atlas Mountains, where adobe homes couldn't withstand the force of the quake. Moments of exhausted joy when survivors are found in the rubble, but also heartbreak when rescuers arrive too late.
Working in these situations, search and rescue is still of paramount importance.
We traveled up a winding mountain road blocked in places by boulders to reach the village of Moulay Brahim.
This village was home to 3,000 people, but locals say at least 40 have been killed. That's more than 1% of the population that lost their lives.
Among them, Lawson's 3 daughters, baby son, and wife. I'm all alone now, he says. I had a home and a family. Now I have nothing. This ID card, madame, the only photograph he has left. The UN says 300,000 people across the region were impacted by the quake. And in small villages and major cities, many families are still sleeping in the streets, terrified that aftershocks could yet bring their homes crashing down.
Well, stay with us. We'll have a final look at your forecast coming up right after this.
The fresh timer starts the minute a tomato gets picked. That's why at Kroger, we shorten the time from harvest to home. So no matter how you shop, you'll have more time to enjoy your fresh produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Do you have bricks cracking, doors and windows sticking, or cracks in your drywall? USS is here to help. Changing weather conditions cause the soil around your home to shift and your foundation to settle, compromising your home's structural integrity. USS can stabilize and even lift your foundation with our customized piering solutions, all backed by a transferable lifetime warranty. Visit uss-ky.com for a free estimate.
We'll guarantee our best. Call USS.
Celebrate 3 years of winning all September long at the Mint Gaming Hall Kentucky Downs. Drive away in a brand new Subaru or win up to $500 in free play every Friday in September. Spin for a Subaru only at the Mint Gaming Hall Kentucky Downs.
Listen to the WNKY News 40 weather drive time forecast. Weekdays on All Hit Woohoo 107.
At Abound Credit Union, we're for tailgating and grocery getting. We're for belting it out and being rocked to sleep. We're for getaways and get-togethers. Because Abound is for the auto loans and refinancing that bring value for living.
I'm waking up my day. So let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on. Keep the morning moving right along.
Watch WNKY News 40 Sunrise for the latest in local news.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on News 40 Sunrise.
Weather on the 4s to get you out the door.
Good morning to everyone at home.
And local events and entertainment to jumpstart your day.
News 40 Sunrise Way.
Weekday morning starting at 6.
At Kroger, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We'll see an increase in clouds tonight. Temperatures dropping into the 60s. Showers should be arriving even for the drive time tomorrow morning. And then we turn cooler.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. All right, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you at home for joining us. We will see you at 6 o'clock over on CBS.